തിരുകുടുംബപാലകനാം യൗസേപ്പിതാവേ, എന്നെന്നും ഞങ്ങൾ തന്നാശ്രയമേ. തിരുകുടുംബപാലകനാം യൗസേപ്പിതാവേ, എന്നെന്നും ഞങ്ങൾ തന്നാശ്രയമേ.
Dear sisters, with the apostolic letter Pathis for the Pope Francis recalls the 150th anniversary of the declaration of Saint Joseph as patron of the Universal Church. You have heard it over and over. Patience is a virtue. Finding peace and calm in our days can be very challenging with all of the different demands and pressures on us. When something is out of our control, when we cannot have something instantly, when we are struggling with the same problem or issue, or when we are dealing with someone else's faults, our patience can wear quite thin. Saint Joseph's life was a continual process of waiting on the Lord's revelation to him. He had to wait for the Lord to reveal what Mary's pregnancy was all about and what his role was to be. When Jesus was an infant, Saint Joseph had to take his family and uproot them to Egypt to flee Herod's murderous threat. St. Matthew chapter 2 verses 13 to 23.
In Egypt, he would have had to find a new work and a new shelter for his family and stay indefinitely in a foreign land. But Joseph was patient. Joseph trusted in God's providential care for him. Patience and trust in God does not mean that we will not face daily anxieties or complete upheaval in our lives. But by God's grace, practicing patience means we can deal with the daily annoyances, the faults of others, the little inconveniences, and the big problems that face us.
In trials, we learn how to grow in virtue and live in God's grace. Exercising patience and mercy, especially when dealing with others or with things out of our control, always bring about good. The Beatitudes reminds us that every difficulty will result in some blessing from God. In this time, go to Saint Joseph and ask his intercession to help us be patient and merciful, trusting God's plan and care for us.
O glorious Saint Joseph, model of all those who are devoted to labor, obtain for me the grace to work consciously and to work with gratitude, joy, moderation, and patience, without ever sinking from weariness and difficulties. Help me to work above all with purity of intention and detachment from self. Grant that those who seek work may quickly find it. Protect and care for me and my loved ones in our daily life and work, just as you did for the Holy Family. Intercede for me and obtain for me the graces and favors I ask this way. Amen.
എന്നെന്നും മാതൃകയായവനെ, അധ്വാന ഭാരങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റെടുത്തിടണേ. തൊഴിലാളികൾക്കെന്നെന്നും മാതൃകയായവനെ, അധ്വാന ഭാരങ്ങൾ ഏറ്റെടുത്തിടണേ. തിരുകുടുംബപാലകനാം യൗസേപ്പിതാവേ, എന്നെന്നും ഞങ്ങൾ തൻ ആശ്രയമേ.